Welcome, dear seeker of ancient truths. Today, we journey deep into the windswept heartland of North America, where the tall grasses once swayed like waves beneath endless blue skies, and where the Kanza people, also known as the Kaw, lived in profound harmony with the earth, the animals, and the unseen spirit world. From their sacred oral traditions emerges a haunting prophecy, one that speaks across generations with urgent relevance to our time. It is the chilling vision of the buffalo without eyes. This is no mere myth. The prophecy tells of a future when blind buffaloes, confused, enraged, and disoriented, would once again thunder across the plains. Their blindness is not of the body alone, but of the spirit, a warning of a world that has lost its way. What does it mean when the sacred animals no longer see? When the guardians of the land trample what they once protected? In this powerful tale, we are invited to reflect on what happens when the sacred bond between humanity, creation, and the Creator is forgotten. Join us as we uncover the meaning behind this vision and ask, are we living in the time of the buffalo without eyes? The Kanza people, part of the Dejahan-Sawan language group, once roamed vast areas of what is now Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri. They were spiritual people, guided by visions, dreams, and the cycles of nature. Central to their worldview was the concept of harmony, balance between the human world, the natural world, and the spiritual realm. The buffalo, a sacred animal, represented abundance, sustenance, and the covenant between Creator and people. But in the vision of the buffalo without eyes, this harmony is broken. These buffalo are not the proud, wise, and steady beasts of tradition. They are blind, deprived of vision, spiritual and literal, and they stampede not in migration, but in madness. The Kanza elders spoke of these creatures returning when humanity had lost its way, when people no longer prayed, no longer listened to the wind, and no longer honored the Great Spirit. In this powerful prophecy, the buffalo become metaphors for humanity itself. Without eyes, they cannot see where they are going. This blindness signifies more than physical sight. It suggests a deep, pervasive spiritual blindness that afflicts mankind in the end times. Without guidance, without divine connection, people become like those buffalo, reactive, destructive, and lost. When the Kanza say the buffalo will trample the plains, they are not merely predicting the return of animals to a land they once ruled. They are warning of chaos, of the violent consequences of abandoning the sacred. Civilization, which once claimed to be built on enlightenment and divine law, will collapse into confusion and rage. A key part of the prophecy centers on the phrase, when man forgets how to speak with the Creator. For the Kanza, prayer was not merely ritual, it was relationship. To speak with the Creator meant to live in continual awareness, respect, and alignment with the divine will. This spiritual dialogue was enacted through ceremony, song, fasting, and acts of reverence. When this language is lost, when humanity forgets how to pray, how to live humbly, how to listen to the sacred whispers in nature, then the world loses its balance. The prophecy implies that modern civilization, in its pride and self-reliance, is rapidly approaching this state. The rituals of consumerism have replaced the rituals of communion. Silence has drowned out sacred songs. The Kanza warning refers explicitly to a time of reckoning. In native traditions, reckoning is not simply punishment, it is correction. It is the moment when truth returns to the forefront, when that which has been denied or hidden must be confronted. The blind buffalo signal that this time is near. Their confusion mirrors our own. We live in a world where climate collapse, cultural upheaval, and political chaos increasingly dominate headlines. Nature groans under the weight of exploitation. The youth lose direction. Ancient values are mocked. The buffalo without eyes may not yet be trampling physically, but their shadows are clearly visible in the fabric of modern life. The blind buffalo are not only symbols of humanity's lost vision, but of the return of primal forces, wild, untamed energies that civilization once thought it had subdued. In times of spiritual collapse, these ancient energies surge back to the surface. Earthquakes, storms, fire, and flood can all be interpreted as the voice of the sacred demanding attention. They may also represent the psychological and social upheavals that occur when moral and spiritual anchors are cut. To the Kanza, these forces are not evil. They are sacred, terrible in power, but holy in purpose. They clear away the false, purify the corrupted, and restore the land to balance. If modern society stands in opposition to the sacred, then it stands in the path of the buffalo. Though the prophecy is ominous, it is not hopeless. The Kanza tradition, like many indigenous spiritual paths, offers a way back. The message is clear: reconnect with the Creator. Speak the sacred language again. Return to humility, to prayer, to respect for the land and all life. Ceremonies can be revived. Songs can be remembered. Silence can again become sacred. Even now, there is time for individuals and communities to step out of the madness and reclaim the old ways, not just for survival, but for the restoration of harmony. The buffalo without eyes need not be our future. They can remain warning symbols rather than agents of destruction if we heed the message. This vision of the Kanza echoes other end-time prophecies around the world. The beasts gone mad motif appears in the Book of Revelation, in Hopi prophecy, and even in the Norse Ragnarok. The idea of humanity becoming blind, cut off from the divine, is a universal sign of societal decay. Technology, while bringing connection, has also severed us from the organic. Religion has often become mechanical rather than mystical. And amid all this, the sacred continues to cry out, waiting to be heard. What the Kanza offer is a lens through which to interpret our current condition, not as random chaos, but as the fulfillment of ancient warnings. And in that recognition is both challenge and opportunity, the challenge to wake up, and the opportunity to begin again. The Kanza buffalo without eyes prophecy is not a story meant to frighten, but a vision meant to awaken. It speaks to us not just from the past, but into our present and future. As we face ecological collapse, spiritual fatigue, and cultural fragmentation, we are walking dangerously close to the stampede path of those blind buffalo. But there is a chance, always a chance, to regain sight, to turn back to the Creator, and to walk once again in balance. The Kanza do not only warn us, they also invite us to listen, to pray, to see. Let us honor their vision with reverence, humility, and action before the thunder of hooves grows louder. Thank you for watching and exploring this sacred warning from the Kanza people. May these words stir reflection, renewal, and reconnection with the divine voice that speaks through all things. Share this message to keep the fire of wisdom alive. Thank you.